Well, good evening, everybody. I'm pretty sure everybody here has ever heard about the term microplastics, but I doubt anyone here has ever got really deep into it. So guess what? That's exactly what we're doing today. Well, first of all, what even are they? Well, by definition, microplastics are tiny plastic particles that can go from 5 millimeters all the way to less than 1 nanometer, which is small enough that to penetrate your own cell membranes and interfere directly by your bloodstream. And sometimes it can even cause you DNA damage, possibly make you a little bit different by the time. So, microplastics are normally divided in 3 different sections: primary, secondary, and nanoplastics. Primary are those who are intentionally microscopic. For example, in textile products, makeup products, synthetic clothing. I'm pretty sure everybody has ever used some polyester clothing, nylon clothing. So, sorry to break it out to you, but you're pretty much getting yourself tons of free health problems like skin irritation, acne, mainly because every wash cycle, when you wash any type of plastic-based fibers, it releases hundreds of tiny plastic particles into not just that specific clothing, but every other clothing in your wardrobe. Now, secondary microplastics are those who degrade from bigger plastic chunks. For example, discarded plastic bottles. Eventually, they will turn into plastic small enough to damage not only our physiology, but the whole environment and the whole planet. That's when I get to nanoplastics, which are the ones that get so small that they are completely all out of our control. And that's pretty concerning, honestly, knowing that there's something that not even can be seen with any type of microscopic, and it can kill us at any time. Just kidding. No, I'm not. It actually can, but it won't, not today. So, how can they become microplastics specifically? So, first of all, we need the raw material, discarded plastic, anything, bottles, packaging. As soon as they enter the environment, they start wetting, they start being degraded. For example, by UV light, heat, or any type of pH or temperature changes. For example, have you ever forgot like a plastic bowl or anything made of a plastic outside? I'm pretty sure the next day it was like extremely brittle or sharp when you broke it. Congratulations, you just made a completely self-sustaining microplastic farm in your whole house. But don't worry, you have lots of them that you don't even notice. That's just a little bit of the problem. So, after those sunlight and heat break their chemical bonds, making super brittle, mechanical fragmentation happens. For example, winds, waves, even biological interference. For example, I don't know, maybe you just kick a little bowl of plastic and it shatters all the way. It's a type of biological interference. And that's when we start paying the price for making a material so durable that it starts to backfire on us. For example, the first plastic ever created in 1906, it's still circulating today as probably some type of nanoplastic somewhere in the ocean. And that's pretty scary, actually, to know that plastic never truly degrade. They just keep getting smaller and smaller until they are completely out of hand. So, and they also have some very specific risks for your health, mainly your physiology. They can go from light risks just like acne, irritation, inflammation, all the way to cancer, cardiovascular risk, aneurysms, and DNA damage. And as any other disease or any other pathogenic agent, there is the group of risks: children, pregnant women, elderly people, or anybody who has a disadvantage against pathogenic agents, like any other disease. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I can't really see you, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in risk right now. Not because they're elderly or any time, but because we live in a very big urban center. And that's a great factor for us to be absorbing lots of more microplastics than someone living in a rural community, for example. So now that we know they never disappear truly, and they can kill us at any moment. Sorry to scare you even more. They're everywhere. There's no escape from it, actually. Because, wait a second, I want everybody to take a deep breath right now. Respira fundo, todo mundo. Pode respirar, não tem perigo, não. Quer dizer, tem, mas pode, só para terminar o exemplo. Beleza. So, what if I say that you just inhale like dozens of microplastic right now? Sorry, but it was for the good of the presentation. It's a pretty scary way that you can absorb microplastic by just breathing, you know, and that's something that we can control. Bottled water, for example, the 370,000 particles per liter. For example, those 5-liter gallons of water. You're pretty much, if you drink one whole of that, I don't know if you could, but you just ingested around 2 million microplastics in a single go. Non-stick pans, I'm gonna enter in more details later, but all of those are plastic containers. I think everybody knows Espoleto here, you know. So, you know the plastic containers they give you as like, as something that you can get as a free sample. So, just by leaving your food inside those containers or occasionally putting it in the microwave or just forgetting out of the fridge for some days, it's a great way for you to increase your microplastic ingestion by a lot, actually. Synthetic fibers. Let's see. You're wearing polyester clothing right now. So, sorry to use you as an example, but it's just the first one I could see. And neutral processed foods. So, this one is pretty obvious, at least for me. But it's a good way to think, to see that you should think twice before eating your McDonald's as usual, you know. Because I'm going to break it down. Some of these foods are not actually foods. They just look like it. And other hygiene products like nylon-based toothbrushes. Every time you brush your teeth, lots of plastic get into them, and you swallow it, obviously. And that's not good for you. Well, and how much plastics exactly are you absorbing per day? So, that's a pretty good number for plastics only inhaled by you, you know. Those are only the numbers that you absorb from the air. From those who are light enough to be floating in the air. That's just a small fraction. And take a look at that number. 77% of all people in the whole world have tested positive for microplastic in the bloodstream. I mean, if you think about it, it's not like a huge number. You're probably being expecting like 97, 98%. But I can guarantee everybody here is full of microplastics, me included. You don't want to know why? Just like I said, we all live in a great urban center. There's pretty much no escape for us. I mean, talking like that, it looks like some kind of apocalypse is going to happen, but not today, I can guarantee. So, another interesting fact is that from 2016 to now, the amount of microplastics inside our brains has increased by 50% in just 10 years. That's an all-time record that kept lots of scientists very concerned about it. And 36.5% of all fish consumed contain microplastics. That's not a really great, big number to threat our human physiology. But think about it. Those are just the fish that we are eating. Imagine all the fish in the whole ocean that are getting infected by microplastics everywhere. Because more than 90% of all plastic in the world is discarded in the ocean. So it's important to know that we are not the only ones being affected. Earth is not ours. It's their home too, you know. So, I mean, we already know that they never go away. They can kill us. They're everywhere, and every single species on their planet is suffering because of them. What can we even do to save ourselves? Nothing, actually. But some things you can do is to minimize your absorption, because it's impossible to not absorb microplastics in Big 26. It's to swap plastic items inside your own house. For example, change your habits. Instead of plastic water bottles, you can use glass or stainless steel, or if you want to risk yourself, you can even use ceramic or any other material that doesn't leave toxic substance in your drink. If you just forget your water bottle in the car for like a day or another, you're already that water is definitely toxic right now. You should not drink it. And I know that because I already drank those kind of water bottles lots of times, and then every time I had to rush to the toilet really, really quick. So PTFP, it's a type of plastic coating that goes in pretty much most of the pans today, like non-stick pans. I'm pretty sure everybody here has some type of non-stick pans. And that's one thing that concerns me the most, because it's a topic that almost nobody talks about when talking about microplastics by themselves. Because it's something that you kind of, everybody bats an eye, but nobody really cares about it. But you know that plastic has a really low melting point. And you really think that putting plastic in something that you cook your food with it, every scratch or every heat, that means you're seasoning your morning eggs with dozens of microplastics that can truly damage you. And for a long story short, just so I don't take much more of your time, it's basically you need to change your plastic items for materials that come straight from nature and don't harm you in any way. Here's a tip for you. Think about it. Think about your material before buying it. Think, does this existed 200 years ago? If yes, it's okay, you're safe. Buy it. But if it didn't, you should start thinking if it's actually worth it to just not use like some type of butter or olive oil for your food not to stick in the pan, or to really risk your health by the time. There's a phrase that I like to say to people when they think, sorry. One thing I like to say to people is like, you either pay the craftsman now or pay the doctor later. You know, because it's better to save yourself now than to take remedies later. And before ending the presentation, I want to leave you all with one last question. What is one plastic item you can swap out today? Thank you.